Macy's up at Big Bear alone?
That's what she said. Brooke, she's been drinking.
Well, thank God she made it up there in one piece.
Yeah.
Why do you think she went up there?
I don't know. She's desperate, you know. Maybe she wants to be alone with me. One last time to make an appeal. Where's Jonathan with those divorce papers?
Do you really want to serve her those papers up at the cabin?
Absolutely. Brooke, you and I have waited way too long.
I know. It's just, I'm worried.
Oh, honey, I'm gonna handle Macy as gently as possible.
No, I'm not worried about Macy. I don't like this, Thorne. Macy is a desperate woman right now, and God knows what she's capable of.
The table's set, darling.
Thanks, Mom.
You know, if I do say so myself, I have put together a rather glamorous, romantic table for two here. What do you think, huh?
It's beautiful. You know, Thorne used to love to come up here. We should have done it more often.
All right, stop it right now. I don't want you blaming yourself for anything that's happening in your marriage, okay? You have been a wonderful wife to Thorne, a perfect wife.
The perfect wife. Just wasn't enough, was it?
Darling, how can you say that? You don't know that. Not for sure, not yet. Thorne is coming up here to be with you tonight. Surely that means there's still hope.
Do you really believe that, Mom? I want you to be honest with me. Do you really believe there is a chance in the world that Thorne is going to leave Brooke and come back to me?
Okay, we have some serious cookout food here.
Any word from Catherine and the kids?
Yeah, she just called. She's on her way.
Okay, I'll wait to put the steaks on then.
Okay.
I don't suppose we might have...
Don't even think about it. You are starting to get a serious addiction here.
Well, yeah, to my wife.
Okay, just as long as it's only to your wife.
I couldn't want anybody else but you.
I wonder what Morgan's doing for the 4th of July.
You slept with Rich Forrester?
Yes. And so help me, if you breathe a word of this to anybody.
No, I won't. When? Why?
It happened when Taylor was out of town. And we did it to make a baby.
Honey, Macy is not dangerous.
No, of course she isn't. It's just that she knows her marriage is coming to an end. Do you really think she believes that you might get back with her?
I don't know what she believes, you know? She's so strung out on alcohol.
I'd really feel a lot safer if the two of you weren't up there alone.
Honey, I'll be fine. I just really want to take those divorce papers with me.
Did Jonathan say he was bringing them over?
He was still in the meeting when I called him, but he said he would get them over here as quickly as possible.
Well, you might have to wait till you get back.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to take those papers with me. I want out, Brooke. This thing gets settled tonight. is answering service.
Well, maybe he's still in the meeting.
Or maybe he's on his way here.
Yeah, but it's getting late. And Macy's probably been drinking. If you don't head up there soon, she might try to drive down the mountain by herself.
You know what? You're right. Will you wait here for Jonathan?
Yes, I will. And please don't worry about a thing. I just want you to get up there and make sure that Macy gets home safely. Okay?
Okay.
I love you. I'm sure everything's gonna be okay. Just be careful.
You don't believe it, do you? You don't believe that there's even a chance for Thorne and me?
Macy, darling, frankly, I have no idea what Thorne is thinking. He's been behaving so irrationally. How could I? And honestly, I don't care about Thorne. He's not my concern. I'm concerned about you. Darling, listen to me now. If you're not feeling right about this evening, and you want to put an end to it, we can stop it right now. Get in the car, and we can go home. You can spend the night at my place, in your old room. You know, and we can get our old robes and slippers on, and we can put pin curls in our hair and make popcorn and watch movies, just like we did when you were a little girl. I feel the need of one of those kind of nights now. You know, we can just sit up and talk all night if we feel like it. What do you say, sweetheart? Do you want to do that?
That sounds nice, Mom, but I have to stay. There's something that I need to take care of.
Oh, what, honey? I mean, what is so important that it can't wait? I'm really trying to understand this, you know, because I want to help you. I'm trying to get through to you somehow, but you seem so withdrawn and so distant. Honey, I am not going to leave here until you look me right in the eye and you tell me that this is where you want to be and that you're all right. I need you to do that for me right now, Macy.
I don't know. I was just thinking maybe I should have invited Morgan for the holiday.
Don't worry about Morgan, okay?
I do. She's a friend. I mean, she doesn't have anybody in LA except you and me.
Well, maybe she should get some other friends then. I mean, she's not helpless, you know.
What is it with you and Morgan? No, you really have been very negative towards Morgan lately.
Doc.
I'm not kidding, Reg. All I have to do is mention her name and you get an attitude. What is going on?
She and I just have our differences, that's all.
Over what? Something at work?
No, it wasn't working.
Then it must be personal. It has something to do with Morgan trying to get pregnant, doesn't it?
Now, why would you say that?
Because that's when this whole thing started. Actually, it started when I went out of town, when I was gone. I mean, all I did was ask you to be there for her and help her get pregnant and go through that insemination process with her, and ever since, you haven't had one nice thing to say about her. I mean, honey, if I had thought it would be this kind of an issue for you, I would
Look,
have
I
never...
really don't want to talk about this now, okay?
Well, I do, Reg. Morgan is a very good friend of mine, and if the two of you have an issue and a problem, then maybe we could all sit down and we could discuss it together.
Some things are better resolved if you just leave them alone. This is one of those things. So look, I'll make more of an effort to be friendlier to Morgan if you promise to stop playing the peacemaker.
You know what I think? I think you're being overly protective of Morgan, and you see this baby as a complication and something that she'll regret. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, doctor, that rings a bell. Oh, gee, our time happens to be up. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to continue this next week. So in the meantime, be good to your husband and bring back some buns for these hot dogs when you come back, okay? Thanks. Bye, thanks.
you seduced Ridge in order to get pregnant.
Actually, I didn't have to seduce Ridge.
Are you telling me he was a willing participant?
He thought he was doing his wife a favor.
How is that?
Well, Taylor, she was visiting her sick father. And she emailed Ridge, and she told him that she didn't want me to go through another traumatic experience at the fertility clinic. So, instead of subjecting me to artificial insemination, she asked her husband to give me a baby. The natural way.
Taylor gave her husband the green light to sleep with you?
Actually, I composed the email and I sent it from Taylor's computer.
You devil.
No, I only did it as a means to an end. You see, I wanted Ridge's baby, not some donor from a catalog.
Oh, and he bought into this. Oh, I bet you didn't have to twist his arm once he got that email.
Well, actually, Ridge was a harder sell than I expected. He wanted Taylor's verbal approval.
And how did you deal with that?
I called Taylor, and I asked her to call Ridge and tell him that she was fine with him helping me get pregnant. Of course, she thought that I was talking about being artificially inseminated by some sperm donor. But I told her that Ridge was very reluctant because she was so against it. And then Taylor, she called Ridge, left a message on his machine telling him that she was fine with this. Of course, Ridge thought that she was talking about the email she sent.
You are very crafty and very dangerous.
No, I was just desperate. You see, my cycle was peaking. And if I didn't get pregnant that weekend, it wasn't going to happen. At least not by Ridge. And I wanted it to be Ridge.
I would have loved to have been there when Taylor got back from her trip and put it all together.
Well, Ridge was very angry. And Taylor doesn't know.
She doesn't.
No, and hopefully she never will.
But Ridge knows. Oh, I bet he's biting his nails right now. I'm surprised he's not on your porch with one of those pregnancy testing kits.
We already went through that.
You tested yourself.
Yes.
And?
I'm not pregnant.
I'm sorry.
At least, that's what Ridge thinks.
Mother, I'm fine, okay? Now I want you to go because I need to be alone with Thorne.
Yeah, well, see, that's not so easy because I don't want to leave you here alone.
Honey, I'll be all right, okay?
Well, I hope so, darling, but frankly, I'm having one of those strange feelings, you know? Call it, maternal intuition or something. It's a feeling that only a mother can have for her child, okay? And I can't help it. I can't help feeling that this is one time when it's possible you are not going to be all right.
You worry too much, you know that? Nothing bad is gonna happen. I'm gonna be with Thorne.
Well, that's hardly comforting, considering Thorne is the reason you're so terribly unhappy. Darling, don't you understand? I just can't help feeling that everything is spinning out of control.
Mother, listen to me. Tonight, I am in control. Maybe for the first time in months.
I don't know how you can say that, darling, when you started drinking again.
Mother, I'm not talking about my drinking. I'm talking about my marriage.
Well, I'm not sure you seem all that much in control of that either, honey.
You gotta trust me on this, okay? I know what I'm doing, and I know what I have to do.
Oh, sweetheart, I don't want to be negative. It's just that you're still my baby. I look into that sweet face and those beautiful eyes, and I see that little baby I held in my arms the day you were born. I made a promise then that I would do everything I could to protect you, make sure you had a happy life. Together, we've managed to do that, you know? We've gotten through some very bad times together, haven't we? We both remember those. But, darling, for some reason today, I'm remembering all the happy times, too. I'm remembering walking you to school for the first time. By the time I teased your hair up for your first date, remember? And all those wonderful talks we had together. These beautiful memories. And I don't understand why they're all flashing in front of my eyes right now.
Don't worry, I'm gonna give you a lot more memories, I promise. Now just go, okay? Get out of here. Come on, I gotta get ready for Thorne. Go.
All right. Reluctantly, I will go. But you gotta promise me one thing, darling. If you feel the evening isn't going well and you want it to end, all you have to do is call. I will be at home by the phone. Promise me you'll call.
I promise.
Okay. I love you, darling. I love you.
I love you too.
Take care.
So Ridge thinks you're not pregnant.
Before I hatched this plan, I knew that Ridge would eventually want me to test myself. I had the foresight to save a little urine from before we slept together.
And you used that sample for the pregnancy test.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really know.
Not yet, but I'm about to find out.
Well, let's go check it out.
Clarke, this is very personal.
Look, honey, I'm in this for the long run. And you're going to need someone like me. All right? Go test yourself. Oh, come on. It's the moment of truth.
I guess it is.
Macy,
You don't have to say anything, Thorne. I understand why you're here. But tonight I have a very special surprise for you. One I'm quite sure that you'll never, ever forget.
Sweetheart? What are you thinking?
I wasn't thinking, really. I was praying. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't thank God for everything that we have. A marriage that works so well. With so few problems and so much love. I love you. I love you.
Well, what are the results? You and Ridge Forrester are about to become parents, aren't you?